day 35, and I want to talk about I've been getting a lot of comments and remarks about how the SIU apprenticeship program isn't currently doing engine department, and that's not a big surprise to me. But there's that, and the rumor of like the waiting list. So I've been talking to a couple of you that you're saying that you're on the waiting list, and the waiting list is like 4 to 5 months. Well, when I was there, you know, I was lucky because I did the application process the way I did, where I did part 2 first, and then when I applied into the program and they're like, yeah, you've been accepted, you have 90 days to fill all this stuff out, I was like, well, I already have it. And so I gave it to them, and then my reporting date was like a month after that. So from the moment I had applied to the moment of my reporting date to school, it was about a month and a half. And I think some of you are thinking that, oh, like I'm on a waiting list, you know, my reporting date isn't for 4 or 5 months. But it's not, I don't think that's necessarily a waiting list, because when you put your application in, it's typically 2 weeks to a month of, you know, them reviewing applications, and then they give you 3 months to get process 2 of the application together. So that's 4 months right there. And then, you know, so you have 3 months to get all your documents together, and then once you turn that stuff in, then they get you into a spot of a reporting date to show up to class. So yeah, that's 4 or 5 months right there. But I think some of you are thinking that's like, oh, I'm on a waiting list, you know, I'm not gonna be able to get in for like 5, 6 months. Well, do what I've been telling you to do. If you know you're going into this career, the maritime industry, get all your documents and then apply into the program. Because if you have all your documents, it speeds up that 3 months of, you know, you going out trying to get all those before or after applying. If you have all your documents and then you apply into the program, they accept you, they're gonna say, okay, you have 90 days. You'd be like, well, I already have all my documents. Then if there's an open spot in one of the classes where maybe another apprentice that had got accepted, you know, is like, oh, I can't come this month, you know, if there's another spot and you just so happen to turn your documents in right then, maybe you get the spot. Maybe that's what happened with me, I don't know. But yeah, so there's that. There's the rumor of the waiting list. I'm not really sure how that is, you know, I think the rumor started just because people were getting that, oh, your reporting date is like 4 months from now. But then it's like, oh, well, you applied in this month, and then we gave you 3 months to collect these documents, and then on that 5th month is your reporting date. Well, if you would have had the documents, that 90 days that you gather all your documents, if you would have had those documents, maybe you would have been in class in 2 months like I was. Just maybe. Now, I heard from you know, one of the subscribers here that the reason why the administration doesn't have the way I say to do it, of getting your documents first and then applying into the program. They say that they don't do it that way because there's not a guarantee that you're going to get accepted into the program. So they don't, you know, the administration and SIU doesn't want you wasting your money getting your documents if SIU isn't going to accept you. But that's the whole point of, if you know you want to do this career, it doesn't matter if SIU apprenticeship program accepts you or not. They're not the only way to get into this career. So get your documents first and then apply into SIU. If you get accepted, cool, you get free training. If you don't get accepted, who cares? Do it yourself. Pay for the classes yourself. It might take a little longer. You know, you're gonna pay out of pocket. You're gonna have to work some job to pay for the classes, but you know, if this is what you want to go for, that's what you want to go for. The SIU apprenticeship program is just a nice option because it's not the money out of your pocket for the classes. So you go through the program, you finish the program, and then, you know, you decide the maritime industry isn't for you. Well, you didn't have to cough up the money for the STCW classes. Where if, you know, you get all your documents, you pay for your STCWs out of pocket, you're paying for all these classes out of pocket, you get on your first ship or two, and then you're like, well, I hate sailing. Then you wasted all that money and all that time doing it, compared to the program where you're not wasting money because it's not costing you anything. But on another point, I also heard the rumors, but I think this is a pretty solid rumor. It's not like the rumor of this long waiting list at the program, because from what I've heard now, the waiting list sounds pretty normal, you know, unless you go my route, which I told you, get your documents first. A lot of you are asking me questions about, oh yeah, I applied, you know, you guys are doing it the way the SIU application process says to do it, and then you're coming and asking me all these questions. Well, do it the way I'm saying to do it, and it'll be quicker. I don't want to say quicker, but anyways, so another rumor's going around, and it seems more valuable than this waiting list rumor, and it is that the SIU apprenticeship program is currently not accepting people to go through engine department because, well, the engine department is saturated. Okay, it's been getting saturated. It's just like every other, how do I say it? You know, before I became a sailor, I was looking into becoming a welder. Like when I got out of high school, that was my plan, was to save up money to go to a welding tech school. And I got in a car crash. I ended up using all that money I saved up for welding to pay for the car crash, pay for surgeries, pay because I couldn't work for a while. I would just lived on my money. And then that's when I had that life-changing, I guess I'll become a sailor. Well, I've still been curious about getting into welding, right? And my father's a welder. I've been curious. I've always wanted to, you know, actually get certified for it so I could do stuff. Well, it's funny. I was watching a video about welding, and the guy comes over and was like talking to a younger guy, probably about my age, and he's like, so what got you into welding, you know, why'd you do it? And he was talking, and it was like, well, you know, it pays good, but it really makes me feel good. And he said, it pays good, but it really makes me feel good knowing I'm doing a man's job, you know. And he said, knowing I'm doing a man's job, you know, it makes me feel manly doing this kind of work. And right then, I thought, wow, that sounds just like all the guys that were in SIU with me that wanted to go engine. Okay, I think there's this era, this generation around right now, you know, my age, and guys in their early 20s to late 20s that are going for jobs because they think that these jobs are gonna make them more manly. You know, oh, I'm gonna become a welder because it's a manly job. There's plenty of women welders. There's plenty of women ABs. There's plenty of women third assistant engineers, second assistant engineers. There's plenty of women in engine department, okay? Being a welder, being a diesel mechanic, being in the engine department does not make you more manly just because you think it's a manly job. I just thought it was so funny when the camera guy had asked him why he got into welding, and he said because it made him feel manly. I think he's, you know, I think there's something else behind that. But anyways, when I first got into this, you know, I originally thought engine department would be for me, but I wanted to learn something new. And when I was in the union hall, I looked at the job board, and it seemed to be 80% of the jobs on the job board were deck department jobs. They were AB jobs. There's always AB jobs. Every time I went into the union hall, there was AB jobs on the board. You'd see like one QMed job, one oiler job, one wiper job, 10 AB jobs. That's why I decided to go deck, because it's something I didn't know. Navigation, plotting, you know, I don't know anything about that stuff. But the job board that's filled with deck department jobs, that is why I really chose deck, because it was needed. Same thing goes for steward department. Steward department as well. And I think it's for the same reason of people that, you know, everyone that's wanting to become sailors, they're thinking that, oh, the steward department isn't a manly job. So that's why the steward department is a much needed department in the maritime industry. They have a fast track. SIU has a fast track program for the steward department, where it takes if you want to go steward, you're going to be in the program for half the amount of time, and they get you out sailing right away, because the steward department is lacking so bad in people. They need people in the steward department. And now, from what I've heard, the engine department, they're not pushing people into engine anymore because it is just so saturated. And I knew that even from when I was there. It was like a 2-to-1 ratio when I was in the program. When I was in third phase, I think there's only 6 or 7 in my deck department class, while there was about 18 people in the engine department classes. So it's like a 2-to-1 ratio. Now, are you getting into this career to become a man? Are you getting into this career because you want to do a man's job? Or are you getting into this career to make money? That's, you know, I think most people want to do it for the money. But if you're going into engine because you think it makes more money, which it does, engine department does make a little more money than deck department. But are you gonna make more money if you can't find a job in the engine department because it's so saturated? That's what I got for today. I don't know if I can add anything else to that. Hit that subscribe button, like, comment, share, tell me what you think. If you're in the engine department and you think you're more manly than me, probably are. That's why I chose deck. See you guys in the next video. And girls. See you guys and girls in the next video.